After a hat-trick of cup matches, Manchester United would have welcomed the idea of back-to-back home games against Crystal Palace and Leeds United to get their Premier League campaign restarted. On paper, it looked like a golden opportunity to get 6 points on the board and tighten their grip on a top 4 berth, as the battle to secure Champions League football for next season intensifies. Therefore, you could forgive anyone associated with the club for feeling slightly downhearted about only picking up 4 points from the two aforementioned fixtures. After weathering a late Palace storm to hold on for a 2-1 win with 10 men on Saturday, United and manager Erik Ten Hag would have hoped for a much simpler and less stressful evening against Leeds on Wednesday night. However, the Whites, who sacked Jesse Marsch as head coach just over 48 hours before kickoff, ensured United were not going to be granted that wish within 65 seconds of the kickoff. Dangerman Wilfried Gnonto, who joined the West Yorkshire club back in September, fired Leeds into a shock lead, rifling a low shot past David De Gea from the very edge of the penalty area. He danced his way through United's defence and midfield too easily, capitalising on the noticeable absence of Casemiro, and it was hardly surprising when Ten Hag described his side's start as unacceptable. If the manner of the first goal was unacceptable, so was the second. After Alejandro Garnacho, who filled in for the injured Antony, lost possession in the centre of the pitch, Leeds quickly worked it out to the left, and within just a few touches of the ball it was in the back of De Gea's net for a second time, being turned home, unfortunately for him, by Raphael Varane. It was both careless and sloppy from United. It was avoidable in every sense of the imagination, meaning it was no surprise that Ten Hag was so furious. Though United, to their credit, battled back to make it 2-2 and earn a share of the spoils, thanks to goals from Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho, it was another game where they conceded unavoidable goals, with the one they conceded from Jeffrey Schlupp at the weekend coming after they had failed to deal with a corner. With respect to both Palace and Leeds, the Reds, considering they are a team, certainly for the most part, who have significantly improved their defensive standards this season, would have looked at these two games with the target of 2 clean sheets alongside 2 wins. United have now failed to keep a clean sheet in each of their last 5 league games and have not kept one at Old Trafford in the league in each of their last 3. Considering they had kept 3 in a row over the Christmas period, taking them level with last season's clean sheet tally of 8, it has been a sudden drop-off, even though they have picked up points and remain in a very strong position. United were relying on their defensive solidity as a result of their struggles to blow teams away at the other end of the pitch. After the gut-wrenching 3-2 defeat to Arsenal last month, Ten Hag urged his players to cut out their mistakes, highlighting how it is never easy to scoop maximum points if the opposing team has scored twice. In general, against Arsenal we defended very well, said Ten Hag. They didn't get clean shots, was one time from free kick. There was a lot of defense between the ball and the goal. But all the goals were avoidable, and that's my point, it cannot happen. When you concede 3 goals in a top game you can't win, that's one of the conclusions. We have to take this lesson. Based on the manner in which United conceded against Palace and Leeds, as well as against Reading in the FA Cup, where they allowed Amadou Salif Mbengue to nod in from a corner unchallenged, it is fair to say that lessons have not been learned. United, after turning one of their biggest weaknesses from last season into one of their greatest strengths this term, have gone sloppy in recent weeks, and it cannot be a trend that continues, especially when they rarely coast past teams with convincing 3-0 wins, for example. Ten Hag has built United's improvements on a solid defensive base and they have lost that recently. They need to find a clean sheet from somewhere soon.